What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So USC football did get another big commitment through the transfer portal in the offensive lineman from Wyoming, Emmanuel Pregnon. I don't know if it's French or not, but yes, he did finally decide to come to USC officially. Still waiting on Cameron Johnson, the older veteran offensive lineman from the University of Houston, but looks like he's taking another official visit, so maybe USC is out of the running there if he's still looking for a team after that great visit he supposedly said he had. But Pregnon looks like a really good prospect and athlete, especially at that position. I know he was playing interior offensive line, but he definitely has the ability and size and length to play on the outside. And plus, he's only after like 1 or 2 years in college, so this is definitely a nice pickup for the future when they go into not only the Big Ten, but their future football program too. So he's going to be around at least for another 2 to 3 years, depending on how much he plays and explodes in playing time. But overall, this is still a really big time get, in my opinion, and definitely fortifying that offensive line for USC's not only this season but the future coming up. So it's looking very good so far. And then the ex-Duke player who was selected number 1 overall by the Orlando Magic in last year's draft, Paolo Banchero, was recently named the NBA's Rookie of the Year for this last season. So that's pretty cool. It's obvious that he started off really good even in Summer League and progressed even until then. The team even at times was in the playoff hunt and even almost making the playoffs at times, but that was earlier in the season. But as long as they get a couple of veterans here and there, and eventually before they have to pay all those guys, I think Orlando definitely has a spot and has a chance to be able to make it a spot into the playoffs. So definitely looking very high for him early in his career. But yes, congrats to the ex-Duke player Paolo Banchero on that award. Then House of Victory, you already heard me talk about them, usually talking about their signings. And today, or the other day, I think it was yesterday, they actually led off the week with the signing of one of their top baseball products right there on their team, who's been doing pretty good this year, in Austin Overn, who actually is supposed to be playing both baseball and football, but it looks like he might be sticking with baseball because yes, he's going to get this opportunity to be able to make some money on his name while in school. But he's also, I think he broke the record for most triples in a season for USC baseball, and it's still like quite a few games left to go in the season. He might be a pick. I don't know. I think once you go to college, you have to wait a couple years, but in a couple years, he might be a really nice top prospect out there, in my opinion, for the MLB draft. So it's looking pretty good for him. Probably is going to end up sticking with baseball instead of trying to play, a little bit for football. But either way, it's looking like a nice, good thing in the future for one of these athletes from USC. So looking forward to it. And then yes, on Monday, the Lakers did play against the Memphis Grizzlies at home in LA, and they're able to get that victory 117 to 111 in overtime. It was a crazy game. They were down most of the time, and they were able to take that 3-1 series lead before I get into it. But yes, so they only need to win one more game, and that's tonight. They play against Memphis in Memphis, so we'll see what they can do. But yeah, even going into that fourth quarter, and most of that fourth quarter, Lakers were down. D'Angelo Russell was playing up and down, of course, but then all of a sudden he makes two or three straight threes. I don't know if they were back to back officially, but for him shooting wise, yes, he made 3 of those in the fourth quarter, and of course had a foul out. But luckily, the other guys that came in stepped up as well. Even both LeBron and AD weren't scoring very well, and I think even at the end of this game, the highest scorer for the Lakers was Austin Reeves. But LeBron still got it done rebounding wise because he had a 20-plus rebound effort, and I think it's the first time in Lakers history since 2004 when Shaq last did it in the playoffs. So that's pretty cool. Nice little extra record for LeBron in his Laker tenure. But yeah, they definitely needed every bit of that. I think he threw another 20 plus points and had 7 assists as well, so a near triple double. But yeah, Anthony Davis helped out defensively and rebounding here and there, but he didn't really start get going scoring wise till that fourth quarter. And then in overtime they were able to pull it through. I know LeBron had a crazy, impossible type of layup to get it into overtime. I was actually doing a number one in the bathroom right when that was happening, but maybe it was best that I did not see it. And then I watched the rest of overtime, and yeah, once you're able to get a couple stops in overtime like the Lakers did, you're kind of able to, win the game, especially if you're scoring at least 2 points. So they were able to do that. Luckily, they got the victory, and now you basically have 3 chances to win 1 game. I hope they don't take all those 3 chances, because the Lakers can pull off the victory tonight, then they'll have definitely almost nearly a week of rest, especially if Golden State and the Sacramento Queens go, a full series of 7 games. So that series has been back and forth as well. So hoping they play a lot longer, the Lakers can hopefully get it done tonight. And if not, I'm pretty sure they will be playing Friday. So at least get it done then when you're back at home. But either way, it's looking positive right now for my LA Lakers, at least making it to the second round, playing another formidable opponent eventually. But yeah, hoping for the best tonight for the LA Lakers. And then when it comes to On3 Network, they did do a thing where they had a lot of the top players that stood out in the spring games as of late. And 2 USC players, one on offense, one on defense, made each list. So the top incoming freshman, Zachariah Branch, made the offensive side, which is really cool. I mean, he had a great game, even though it didn't even really seem like it. He had nearly 10 catches, either 100 yards or just about under. So it was a pretty good overall game for him. And he's probably not even going to start technically right away, but the way he's performing, you might as well just throw him out there, see what he can get you. And then the freshman linebacker, Tackett Curtis, as well stood out, according to On3, with all those other players around the country. So yes, USC got some really good gems in this, recruiting class, and hoping they can contribute to USC's team within the near future, helping them out a lot. And then yes, Andrew Voorhees recently put out a video with Rock Nation Sports, which I'm assuming, I don't know if he had signed with them before or not, but they're pretty known. I think Jay-Z owns, because of Rock Nation, I always thought that was more of a Jay-Z thing. And if it is, that's pretty cool, but why would they promote a guy who just recently tore his ACL a couple months ago back at the Combine? And yeah, he did still do 38 reps of 225, but yeah, you have all the strength in the world up top, but if your bottom half is what's hurting you, then why sign the guy? But they did put out a video too where he's running almost full speed on a treadmill even 2 months after that injury happened, which is pretty crazy. I know miracles have happened with ACL injuries as of late for football players, where it used to be 8 months to a year that they were out, but now they could definitely get back a lot quicker. It's pretty crazy. Maybe that's the case here. Maybe they think he's going to at least get drafted pretty highly, maybe as early the second round as late the third. You never know. I kind of thought even with the injury he would be pushed back to maybe late 4th, 5th, 6th round officially, because I know a team would want to get that type of guy who showed that much heart and character the next day after he tore the ACL on the bench press. But yeah, either way, it's looking positive for a couple of my USC Trojans going into the draft tomorrow. So we definitely be looking out for that coming in the next couple of days with the NFL draft on TV. Then PFF recently said that they believe Mekhi Blackman, the cornerback from USC, who's in the draft as well tomorrow, could be a steal just because he is very talented and he should be up a lot higher and drafted a lot higher than where he most likely will be getting drafted within the next couple of days. But they said whatever team gets him, they think it's going to be a steal because his numbers are really good. And like I said, PFF is those up and down places that I do like and don't like, but a lot of their numbers are going in favor of a lot of USC Trojans as of late, and they've been pretty good so far. So I'll trust them here. Maybe the Chargers will get him late in the draft. You never know, but we will see. And then 24/7 Sports recently said, that Caleb Williams is one of the top 32 returning players for the 2023 college football season. It's pretty obvious, the top Heisman winner returning to school. Of course he's going to get, top billing there. But another analyst said from somewhere that both him and Drake May would be the most likely top 2 quarterbacks taken if they were out this year. But definitely Caleb Williams would be the top pick overall. A lot of people have been saying if he was in this draft this year. So, a lot of praise for him, which is really cool. Hoping this year goes well for him in USC and doesn't, kind of coast to knowing the fact that he's going to get drafted number 1 overall. But I just know that you can feel it in interviews and anytime you see him on the field that he wants to win no matter what. And yeah, that's a detriment to him sometimes because he'll stay in the pocket longer or make a play last longer when it shouldn't and get tackled weird, and that might hurt him. But either way, as long as he's on my team, that's all I care about. So hoping for a back-to-back Heisman and maybe a top 4 finish and entering the college football playoffs too. That's all we could hope for from Caleb. And then, yeah, apparently Washington Commanders, what they're called now apparently, I guess they might be looking to draft backwards, so give up their higher picks to move back in the draft where they think they can accumulate some more spots to go after a top quarterback next year, and they believe that could be Caleb Williams. So, if you're a Commanders fan this year, it might suck, but they're probably trying to go for the first round pick or the top overall pick next year as well, who is going to be Caleb Williams. So you never know. He might end up coming back for his senior year because he doesn't like the top teams up there. You never know. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting coming next year's draft. And then, yeah, they did a weird comparison of Caleb Williams' NIL evaluation to where I think a recent quarterback, Tyler Huntley, who was with Baltimore last year, he signed like a 2.6 or 2 point something $1 million contract to be a backup, I believe, this year. And they said his and Caleb's evaluation numbers as far as like salary wise are pretty close, which is crazy. That I guess they're saying that it's crazy that a college guy is going to be getting just as much, if not more, eventually than what a backup quarterback is getting. But that's pretty obvious that he could beat out a backup quarterback if he's beating out guys who are starting that aren't on rookie deals. And yeah, that's a big thing because I think some other people were a part of that as well, like promising a guy $8 million while he's in college. It's pretty crazy even before he plays down in college, some other teams. But overall, yeah, it's pretty crazy evaluation that they did right there. Kind of takes a jab at the pro football player, but either way, we'll see what happens in the future. And then, yes, to end off with this for the video, yes, good luck to all the USC Trojans tomorrow, who most likely will get drafted. Obviously, the highest player could be the wide receiver Jordan Addison, even to the Chargers, but he could probably go even earlier than that in the draft, which is pretty cool. Tui Pelotu, the defensive lineman, he was kind of late first projection, but it's definitely looking more like mid-second round, late second round, which is still pretty good overall for him. I'm pretty sure he knows if he would have came back, he probably could have bumped it up and been officially a first-round pick and probably could have had, a championship ring to go along with that at USC, but decided to go for the money now, which is pretty cool. It's all good. So wishing him luck. And then, as we mentioned before, Mekhi Blackman as well has a chance to get drafted to be a steal according to PFF, so you never know. Travis Dye, not only the top leaders and players for USC this year before he got hurt, but I think if he was still healthy, he definitely would have been in the top 10 conversation of running backs drafted. Sadly, he might not get selected till the 7th round or be undrafted because of that injury, but he is still working out, so I still think he has a chance. As we mentioned before, Andrew Voorhees, the offensive lineman, as well, has a chance. And there's other guys too, but those are like the main 5 guys that will most likely get drafted over the next couple of days, but we will see. So good luck to all of them, and yes, hoping the Chargers make the correct choices, because I think they might be waiting to see who gets down to them, who lands to them, because last couple years, especially last year, a lot of the better players were taken because there weren't that many quarterbacks to get selected, but a lot of people are quarterback like crazy this year for the first round. So there could be at least 5 spots of players that are going to be selected before them that are quarterbacks that are going to be pushed down, the better players that the Chargers need. So depending what Austin Eckler wants and does not want to do, if he does end up getting traded or not, then you go with Bijan Robinson. Obviously, I love Michael Mayer, the tight end out of Notre Dame, over Dalton Kincaid, but both guys are pretty solid picks at tight end in the first round, in my opinion. But Nolan Smith somehow drops a nice edge rusher from Georgia, is pretty good. Branch from the safety from Alabama is really good as well. You go a lot of different scenarios. Quinn Johnson, if he ends up dropping from TCU, but why is he dropping? He was almost like close to the top 10, and now he's all of a sudden at 21. I honestly would prefer if the Chargers just trade back a couple of spots. They can still get one of the top players in the draft late in the first round, pick up a second or third or something else as well later in the draft when it comes to picks, and you'll be copacetic and ready to go, which is what copacetic means, but people still say ready to go after, just like I did, but it doesn't make sense. So yes, good luck to everybody, at least the people that I want to have good luck tomorrow. Good luck to them. Yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Fight on, and good luck to the Lakers tonight. Let's get this victory. Woo!